So, Gurudev, tell me about this book, The Inner Guru. Like, as an entrepreneur for myself, like how this book can be helpful.
So this book, this the Inner Guru, which is my findings about life and what I've learned from my life. So there are different
Mm-hmm.
topics in this book. When it comes to gratitude, how we can help use
Mm-hmm.
gratitude to improve
Mm-hmm.
your mindset and stuff. Because when you're grateful, we are focused only on what is good in our life. So most of the times we're thinking what
Mm-hmm.
is bad in our life. So when we
Yeah, most of the people
yeah
do that. Actually, I do hear that a lot. Actually,
yeah so
people don't focus
the
on
good.
the
Correct.
solutions,
Even
just
if
the
you go
problem.
to a temple or a church, if you see people, they only go and ask for things. So when
Yeah.
you're asking for things, we are focusing more on what is not good in your life, what is not right in your life.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
Mm-hmm.
when you are going to a temple or a church, just say thank you for the things what you have. So what you do is by being
Mm-hmm.
grateful, you're focusing your
Mm-hmm.
mindset on what is good in your life. So what you focus on is what you get in your
Mm-hmm.
life. Simple as that. That is what you
Mm-hmm.
attract. So there's a chapter on gratitude. There are chapters on different like forgiveness, how forgiveness has helped because I used to hold on to my dad a lot. So that is to
Mm-hmm.
stop me from outperforming well. So because most of the
Mm-hmm.
times I used to hold on to anger in my mind regarding him, and I used to waste my energy. So when I learned how to
Mm-hmm.
let go of my anger towards him and forgive him, it gave me a better outlook on life. It made me feel light and helped me more in my business, my career.
Mm-hmm.
So these things are there.
Mm-hmm.
Then I've written about how it's important to build a strong value system, like a belief system. So in my
Mm-hmm.
book, what I've done is end of the every chapter there's an activity center wherein people can read it and go and write their thoughts. So it's a
Mm-hmm.
two-way book. It's not just you go and read the book. It's also that at the end of the chapter there's an activity where I ask certain questions where the readers can write their
Mm-hmm.
answers and get the answers for their life. The main idea about writing this book is to help people to get the answers because I truly believe that whatever answers you want in your life is there inside you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a big
Yes, it
guru
is.
or a
Mm-hmm.
it's good to have mentors to guide you and but it's not always
Mm-hmm.
required. So it's more important to connect yourself to your inner voice. That is
Mm-hmm.
one thing which will always guide you. Mentors are there,
Mm-hmm.
parents are there, but they can't be there with you 24/7, right?
Yeah, but they don't. People don't
Yeah,
understand your
your
actual problem,
absolute
even if you say it out
definitely
loud,
the
right?
root of yourself only you
Mm-hmm.
can understand. So this is why I
Mm-hmm.
wanted people to get into activity and connect to themselves and get the answers
Mm-hmm.
of their life. So the different if I have to topics like about how to compete with yourself. Most of the people what they're
Mm-hmm.
doing is they're competing with someone else. It's not like
Mm-hmm.
they're comforting with self, how I can get myself better than what I was yesterday. So there's a chapter on
Mm-hmm.
that called competing with yourself, which is very, very important, I feel, because nowadays most of the
Mm-hmm.
people are competing with, even in social media, they're looking at someone else and, trying to be like them or something like that.
Exactly, exactly. That's happening a
There's
lot,
a
actually.
chapter on identification on how we identify ourselves with things and ego and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
By with
Mm-hmm.
a name, with a brand, with the car we
Mm-hmm.
have, with the house we have. So it's very important to let go of this identify and be humble in life. So
Mm-hmm.
there is a chapter on silence, how we can use silence to actually calm your
Mm-hmm.
mind and be focused. There are
Mm-hmm.
chapters on how to try new things, like you said, you never knew before writing that
Mm-hmm.
you're good at writing. So only when you keep
Yeah.
trying new things is when you understand what you are.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them are like
That's
they
exactly
feel
right.
like I don't like dancing, it's not me, but
Mm-hmm.
actually when they start dancing they realize that it makes them happy. Or when even
Yeah,
when
it
you're
is. It
writing or
is.
when you're cooking, like some people say I don't know to
Mm-hmm.
cook, but when they actually
Mm-hmm.
go and try they realize that, oh, I'm good at it, I can do this makes
Mm-hmm.
me happy.
Mm-hmm.
So people are
Mm-hmm.
stuck in a limited mindset and doing the same thing over and again. So it's very important on a timely manner to try new
Mm-hmm.
things in your life. Doesn't matter, it has to be a big thing, like it can be small things
Mm-hmm.
like going for a walk or
Mm-hmm.
trying to cook or learning to paint or listening to music or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very important to try new things. So there is this chapter on
Okay.
vulnerability. So before, for a
Okay.
long point of my life, I should never talk about my dad, my life, and all this stuff. Like how I'm
Mm-hmm.
speaking to you right now openly. But
Mm-hmm.
there's a power in this. When you're
It is.
well,
It's there. See, we are not pretending here,
correct,
right? Like we are actually sharing the
correct,
story. This is the core
correct,
value
correct.
of why I started
Correct.
this
And even
podcast.
Gary Vee talks about this
Mm-hmm.
vulnerability. The more
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable you are,
Mm-hmm.
the more open you are about your life, your failures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
People don't have a chance to,
Mm-hmm.
grab onto you, like, put you down in any
Mm-hmm.
way because you already accepted
Mm-hmm.
yourself for the bad things what you have done
Mm-hmm.
or what you have gone through in your life. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
important to be vulnerable. It makes you become more free and more confident. So there are a lot of these
Mm-hmm.
topics like this, like self-awareness. There's a very
Mm-hmm.
important chapter called as four pillars of life. So four pillars of I feel there are
Okay.
four pillars in life which you have to work on a daily basis. One is your body, your
Mm-hmm.
mind, your heart, and your soul. So I talked
Mm-hmm.
about these four pillars which you need to strengthen yourself. When you strengthen these four
Mm-hmm.
pillars every day, the rest of the things will fall
Mm-hmm.
into place. So if you take
Mm-hmm.
a terms of body is very important. You need to
Mm-hmm.
take care of your health, your mind. What
Mm-hmm.
are the things you can do to have a strong mental health? Your
Mm-hmm.
heart, your emotions are very important. We humans are emotional beings. So what are the things you
Mm-hmm.
can do to on a daily basis wherein you can improve your emotional state of state and be
Mm-hmm.
very happy and fourth is your
Mm-hmm.
spiritual, your soul, spiritual health.
Mm-hmm.
What are the
Mm-hmm.
things you can do on a day-to-day basis wherein you can be happy about yourself, the soul, the spirituality of
Mm-hmm.
your life. So this
Mm-hmm.
this is the book. It's a general book which can help anyone, whether if you want to take it in a personal way or a corporate
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur way. Even for entrepreneurs, I'm telling you one thing is like
Mm-hmm.
first work on building a personality, work on building a character, and then rest of the things will
Mm-hmm.
fall into place. It's very
Mm-hmm.
important. See, tomorrow, if Gary Vee has become Gary Vee because of the personality he has, because of the character he has built over years,
Yes.
because
Yes.
of the confidence
Mm-hmm.
he has, because of the
Mm-hmm.
commitment he has. So these are the things very
Mm-hmm.
important. The external things will
Mm-hmm.
automatically fall into place. So it's very
Mm-hmm.
important to have a strong character and a personality. That is what my belief is, and that is what has helped me
Mm-hmm.
because whenever I started working on myself, my health, my my knowledge, reading
Mm-hmm.
books, doing
Mm-hmm.
coaching sessions,
Mm-hmm.
it has helped me improve my other areas of my life, like my business and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is the book is all about the inner guru. It's a basically a book on
Mm-hmm.
finding the answers to your life.
Mm-hmm. So this is a book it can help
Yeah, it can
anybody.
help anybody. It
It,
can help anybody who wants to follow their passion or want to get to know
mm-hmm.
themselves better and know what is
Mm-hmm.
life, how they can shape themselves. Even for entrepreneurs, they
Mm-hmm.
can get to know themselves. They can use it to know how they can
Mm-hmm.
use their skills to being grateful in
Mm-hmm.
their workspace or having what are the kind
Mm-hmm.
of core values they need to have towards work, how to
Mm-hmm.
compete with themselves and not others in the business, how to make
Mm-hmm.
themselves better, their business every day better than what used to be yesterday. So these are very
Mm-hmm.
basic things what I speak about in the book. Like I've not gone like very extraordinary. So that's what I am
Mm-hmm.
telling. We need to focus on the very basic, simple things in life.
Mm-hmm.
People are more focused on the extraordinary thing and like how they talk,
Mm-hmm.
like walking on water or eating fire.
Yeah, when people think about spirituality, that's the misconception,
Yeah,
right? They want to do something phenomenal, like something impossible
correct.
to do. That's not
No.
spirituality. I believe in my doing what I feel
Yes,
right.
definitely.
Okay, that's all I believe
Yeah,
in. I believe in God, yes, but while doing something, I don't attach those things to my religion or spirituality, whatever
correct.
it is. I just do what feels right to
Correct.
me.
Definitely. Definitely. You have to.
So
If
that's
you're
the
not
thing.
happy at the end of the
I,
day, there's no point. Whatever, how much ever effort you put,
exactly, exactly.
how
That
much
is
ever
very
money,
true.
how
That is
much ever
very true,
money you
actually.
make, how much ever whatever you
Hmm.
have, if you're not happy at the end of the day,
Hmm.
it's all waste of time.
Hmm. So I have a topic in mind. I want to know your failure story. This is something I was very intrigued in, and I wanted to our listeners to know about this and how you overcame it. This can be very motivational for that. Tell me one failure story where you thought, okay, this is it. There's nothing can be done ahead, and at that moment, what made you realize, like you could, I need to keep going, something like that.
So I'd like to tell two stories which changed my life. One is when I was
Mm-hmm.
working in Bangalore. I used to work for this marketing firm, and we used to
Mm-hmm.
sell software solutions. So
Okay.
This was just after my MBA. Just before my MBA, also I got the job. I was working before my final semesters, but it was so challenging because we didn't have any training, and they used to just give us brochures and tell us to go from store to store and sell software solutions.
Yeah, like companies do confuse marketing and business development. When I joined business development, I thought, okay, I always thought like business development is a bridge between marketing and
Yes,
sales. But no, here it's sales,
correct.
basically sales.
So
And even in marketing,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt, let me just
yes,
finish this. Like, even in marketing, I see a lot of posts, I consume a lot of content on social media. All companies are doing is
yes,
sales on social
yes,
media.
correct.
They're not focusing on building the brand, or they're not focusing on providing some kind of value to their
Correct, correct,
customers.
correct. Yes, so it's happening everywhere. Like, so they used to
Hmm.
make us every day go from shop to shop. And after 6 months, I was
Hmm.
so stressed in my life because every day 10 hours, I didn't have a vehicle that then. I used to go by bus or walk or something like that. And
Okay.
I started
Hmm.
losing weight. Health became
Hmm.
bad. I was so stressed. My
Hmm.
mental health was in zero. I feel at that moment of time.
Hmm.
And one day I was having a cup of coffee.
Hmm.
Okay, and it was like a light bulb moment. I asked myself one important question: so much
Hmm.
effort I'm putting for someone else,
Hmm.
what if I put the same effort to myself?
Hmm.
That changed my life. And the next day
Okay.
itself, I quit my job. I called my mom and said, I'm coming back home. I want to start something of my own.
Hmm. Hmm.
I realized that so much effort I'm putting for someone else, if I put the same
Hmm.
effort and hard work to myself, maybe 3 years down the line or
Hmm.
5 years down the line, I'll reach somewhere.
Hmm.
At least I'll have
Hmm.
something of my own. So that
Hmm.
is one thing which I think every entrepreneur should ask themselves, that when if they want to
Hmm.
start something of their own, if they're working in a space
Hmm.
or if they are not happy about,
Hmm.
ask that so much effort you're putting to yours to someone
Hmm.
else's growth, which
Hmm.
they're making you, paying you peanuts. What
Yeah,
what what if
that's
you
there.
put the same effort to yourself? Maybe in the beginning it's gonna be tough for the first 1 2 years, but I'm promise
Hmm.
you, another 3 to 5 years you'll flourish in a very bigger manner.
That's very true. That's what I believe
So
in.
that is one thing which is my takeaway. Another failure story is, I think, when I went back to Bangalore, when I lost my,
Hmm.
both of my uh, businesses went for a bankruptcy, and I came, I
Hmm.
didn't have a place to stay. I was homeless and stuff.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I was in a urge of giving up my life. I didn't know what to do, and
Hmm.
the only way I realized to change my life, that's where I came into spirituality, is for things to change, I have to change.
Hmm.
This simple as that.
Hmm.
The very important
Hmm.
thing is routine.
Hmm.
If you don't have a routine, you're gonna fail. As simple as that.
That's very true. Yes.
Routine
Yes, that is
is
true.
very important.
Hmm.
What are you gonna do on a day-to-day basis? How are you managing your time and energy? Even if it doesn't get you money, doesn't matter. See, if you
Hmm.
see now, most of the people are, they're jobless or their business. My business is shut from past 2 months because no events running.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
that's not
There's no
stopping
events
me
running.
from doing my, daily routines. I get up. It doesn't mean
Hmm.
that I get up at
Hmm.
6 o'clock. I get up by 8:30,
Hmm.
maybe by
Hmm.
9. I get up. I do my yoga meditation. Have my ginger lemon tea. I
Hmm.
read for some
Hmm.
time. All this stuff, and then I do my work. Evenings I go for a jog. I do a workout and all this stuff. So it's very
Hmm.
important to have a routine. That is when
Hmm.
you get certain passion and purpose in your life, is through routines.
Hmm.
That is very, very, very important. And
Hmm.
one more easy way which entrepreneurs can grow themselves is by getting a coach.
Hmm.
It's very easy to grow your life by learning from someone who has already done that. My life changed
Hmm.
when I started getting coached by people, because for a long,
Okay.
almost 20 years of my life, I never believed in mentors, I never believed in role models. But once I
Hmm.
came to spirituality, once I came into coaching, I started having role models. I started getting
Hmm.
coached. I spent money on myself. It's very important to
Okay.
invest in yourself, in getting the right
That's
knowledge,
true.
getting
Hmm.
trained by businessmen or entrepreneurs who are doing well in the industry. Even doesn't matter. You
Hmm.
have to spend money first to know the knowledge.
Yes.
Knowledge is power.
Yes. Hmm.
So if you give an example of Elon Musk, or Bill Gates or whoever,
Hmm.
even they work for like 14 hours or
Hmm.
15 hours a day. Even we work for the
Yes.
same time almost. But why is
Hmm.
that they're getting like 1,000 times more uh, than us? because
Mhm.
the kind of value they have and the kind of knowledge they have. So
Mhm.
that is very important to have a right kind of knowledge and right kind of value in your life. So when I went
Mhm.
through this, I realized that for things to change, I have to change. So that's when I started changing. I started giving up alcohol. I started giving up drugs. I changed
Mhm.
this the kind of circle of people I've got involved with. I
Mhm.
started reading. I started working out again. I started going to the gym. I started
Mhm.
writing a book. I started journaling.
Mhm.
I started
Okay.
practicing gratitude. So I started
Mhm.
involving a lot of things in my day-to-day routine, and that changed tremendously over like one
Mhm.
and a half, 2 years. So it's
Mhm.
not like suddenly
And
things will happen. So people should not
yeah,
believe that okay, I start meditating, from tomorrow my life will
mhm.
change. No, it will take.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
misconception everybody
yeah,
has. And during this transition from what you were to what you have
yes.
become, you know, how hard was it from other people? I mean, from the external influence of other people. How hard was it for you to transition from point A to point B?
Mm,
I mean, how people were looking at you, how people were talking about you. Did that ever
it
affect
didn't.
you? And I'm very sure
It
it
didn't
never affected
affect
you. I'm very
me.
sure of that.
Definitely, people start looking at
Mm-hmm.
a different way because they have a very different idea about
Mm-hmm.
spirituality and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
My family personally got scared that I'm gonna be a brahmachari or gonna be a guru kind of way
Yeah,
because
that
for
will
almost
happen.
1 year I was
Uh-huh.
growing beard and I was going to
Mm-hmm.
ashram, staying there, meditating,
Mm-hmm.
reading a lot of books, and I was happy for no
Mm-hmm.
reason. Even though I was doing
Mm-hmm.
this, I was not making money, but that was giving me immense
Mm-hmm.
happiness. And that
Mm-hmm.
is what I was looking for in my life. I never felt that way for almost all my years in my life. And I was happy
Mm-hmm.
for no reason. And I was like
Mm-hmm.
so amazed by, the kind of way how you can look at life just by changing your thought process, the way you feel, and, by getting an
Mm-hmm.
awareness about yourself, a higher consciousness about
Mm-hmm.
life around. It
Mm-hmm.
definitely changed, but people were looking at me in a very different manner. But some
Mm-hmm.
new people started accepting me because I was attracting more good people in my
Okay.
life. The older
Mm-hmm.
people were a little bit confused and like, what's happening with him? But nobody could
Mm-hmm.
understand.
Actually, what happens is, in my experience, people actually measure your value based on your income
Definitely, it's
or
always
your
yes.
status or your job
That is
description,
one
even.
sad thing
Okay.
which is there in this
Mm-hmm.
present generation, that the kind of money you have,
Mm-hmm.
if you have a big car, a big house, that means they feel you're successful.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
how many people who have money and who have cars and bungalows are happy in their life? Ve-
That people won't
Very,
care
very,
about that. See, that's the thing. That's a bad thing happening in the
yes, yes.
society,
That doesn't
actually.
mean that we need to ignore money. Money is definitely important.
Hmm. It's a necessity, but it's not like
Not
not for happiness.
Money
Money is
can't
not
bring you
equal to
happiness,
happiness.
definitely, but
Exactly.
money is important. I feel definitely. If you, doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter that I'm not saying that you should not have a big bungalow or a big car. Even I
Mm-hmm.
dream of those things, but
Mm-hmm.
that should not affect you as an individual. That should not affect you as It's not like tomorrow you lose that and you lose yourself. See, most of the
Exactly.
successful people, if you take that 5% or
Mm-hmm.
2% of these people, they've gone through failures
Mm-hmm.
hundred of times, and then they have gone to that level of vulnerability, and then they have won their
Mm-hmm.
life. They failed
Mm-hmm.
like 10, 20 times, and then they have reached
Mm-hmm.
that level. So now they're not afraid of
Mm-hmm.
losing things. Bec-
Yeah, because they know how to
yes,
survive, right? Like
yes,
once they understand that, if you understand how to survive, you can do
definitely,
anything
definitely,
possible.
definitely. So it's
And what I realized was like after I got fired from that company, I came back and I was having a few drinks with my friends, and one of my friend asked me like, okay, what next? What are you going to do next?
yes,
I had zero answer. I had no answer because there was no plan of this, right? I was never been fired before, so it was like kind of devastating for me. I left my whole life behind here in Bangalore, moved to Noida, Delhi, and it was like shattering. I thought I'll start a new life, so everything will be different. I thought, okay, all I had lost my father recently in 2016, so
oh,
2017 I
so
moved
sorry,
to
sir.
Delhi. So it was like really sad moment,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I told my mom, okay, first let me go there and work for a few months,
Mm-hmm.
then you can move in with me. And even she was a little sad to leave everything behind
Yes,
here, but she supports me like crazy. Whatever I do, whatever I decide, she supports me no matter
yes.
what. So I'm very lucky to have her in
That's
my
good.
life, and
Yes, moms are the best always. The same with my mom also.
yeah,
She
that
always
is.
supported what I
Mhm.
have done.
And like I said, when I came
Mm-hmm.
back, I had no answer actually. I never thought, okay, I'll start freelancing or start my own company. I had that desire, but I didn't. I lacked that courage.
Mm-hmm.
I was very afraid to start things on my
Mm-hmm.
own. So once I met someone on LinkedIn. Okay, he offered me like, can you move to Mumbai and can you work for
Mm-hmm.
me? I told him, no, actually, I just came back from Delhi. I don't think I'll be moving to some other place very time soon.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me, okay, you can work remotely. So we got connected, and actually, he's my business
Oh,
partner right
that's
now.
good.
So and from that moment, even that was a very tough journey.
Mm-hmm.
You know, uh, you try to get some leads, and it won't go from get generating lead to closure
Mm-hmm.
point. You don't get paid,
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
right? People basically thought I was jobless, but I was working as a freelancer.
Yes,
But people basically called me
yes,
jobless. So even now, it's not like I'm very successful in business. I'm still hustling
yes,
hard
yes.
every day. So even now, people consider without if you say you're a CEO or an entrepreneur, people think of you in a big office
Yeah.
with your own team, all those
Yes,
things. See, that never
yes.
occurred to me. I thought, okay, I'm doing something for
Correct.
myself, and I'm trying to build something from
Yes.
scratch with zero experience in business or in marketing. Nothing. I had zero
Mm-hmm.
experience. Everything I learned in digital marketing in the course I went to was very brief,
Mm.
very basic. There's nothing in it. I mean, for 2 years, I practiced
Okay.
this writing content. Tried to find out the trends or tools or what softwares to use, what could be done better at it.
Mm.
You know, and I found a lot of answers, and I'm still learning. Even today, I'm still
Definitely
learning a lot of things in social media
learning will never
marketing.
stop.
Mm. And I finally had the courage to pitch for people,
Mm.
so to get the money, I mean, to get the clients and start my own
Mm-hmm.
business. So I did that, and I have been a little successful. I'm not going to say I've been very successful. I've been a little successful, but it's still a hard journey for
Yes,
me.
yes, yes.
But one thing that keeps me going is every day I wake up with this feeling that, okay, there's no one to tell me what I should do
Yes,
or what I should be
yes.
doing. This is what I want to
Correct,
do, and this is what I believe
correct.
in, because this is what is lacking in life for, or this is what their business lack. I tell them bluntly, if I take a look at someone's profile
Mm-hmm.
or if I take a look at someone's
Correct,
website and what they're
correct.
doing, I'll tell them bluntly, okay, this is what you're
Yes,
doing and this is how you should
yes.
do. So that impresses people.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the thing. I learned this thing from scratch and with without any other's knowledge. I just watched a lot of videos,
Correct.
consumed a lot of
Value,
content,
value is very important. You need
and
to provide value
value
to
is very
people.
important. Exactly. Yeah. So even now, like I said, I'm a struggling entrepreneur, and that this transition, this is in this phase of life, entrepreneur life or my personal life. I get, I observe people how they think about me. I don't care
Yeah,
about it, by the way,
doesn't matter.
but I just observe it. It's very sad that they're not supportive. Not everybody is supportive
No,
of it,
because see,
right?
there is something that they are also going on through, and that's how they
Mm-hmm.
respond to others. So we need to
Mm-hmm.
understand that they are coming from a different point of view, and maybe they are having some problems in their life. So show empathy
Mm-hmm.
towards them. That's very important.
That is true. That
Empathy.
is true. I do show empathy, but the thing is, I don't. I believe in lifting people
Definitely
up. I never believe in putting
correct.
people down or making fun of them or
Mm,
actually teasing them off because they are doing something
yes,
new. I really believe in lifting people up.
definitely. That's very important. That's very important being an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur to lift each other, lift others, your
Mm-hmm.
teammates, your friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very key factor for an entrepreneur, I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
And tell me, like, you have your own business, right? Like, how would you let's say, let me give you a scenario here. If there's a teammate of yours who is not actually loving what he's doing.
Mm,
So how would you advise to him?
mm, well, it's I don't know, but I would just speak to him first, like what is the thing,
Hmm.
try to understand him, talk to him, like why is he here in this company, and
Hmm.
what is his goal, and what is his interest, and
Hmm.
if it's here for money, and then it doesn't make sense,
Hmm.
because how much of money you have, you'll never be happy in this company.
Hmm. Hmm.
So basically, it's understanding him, like what are his strengths, what are his weakness, why is he here, what is his motive, where does he see
Hmm.
himself in the next 3 to 5
Hmm.
years in this company.
Hmm.
So I think that way I will get an evaluation of what does why is he here in this place, and then
Hmm.
I guide him through, like I'm giving him options, like this what I can do for you. Either you
Hmm.
can stay on this company, or you can leave, or you can, maybe I can help you out with
Hmm.
something other way. So basically, yeah, that's the basic things what I do. Like I talk to
Hmm.
them, I see what is their state of being now, and
Hmm.
what are the things they can do. And I
Hmm.
basically always tell people to like work on themselves, change their habits, change their routine, change the kind of people
Hmm.
they're meeting. That these are the very small things, but will make a huge difference in one person's life.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's it. I feel.
Hmm. And like